Okay. Welcome everyone to the Bunce webinar. I can see our bright faces in the room. We're live on YouTube as well. It's a beautiful evening in Lagos, Nigeria. And for all our audience, we're happy to be sharing this time with you. It's of course how to get and retain more customers. That's our focal point today, and we will have from handsome and beautiful face doctors on this topic, of course, from Bunce and from Paystack. Let me encourage you to share your questions as you have them, and we will be sharing with you the link to Slido where you can let us know what questions you have as the conversation goes on, and we'll be picking that up and be sure to answer them at the right time. So our question location, where you let us know whatever question it is that you have, you like clarifications, and this may be something that has to do with the meeting or something else about the products of the two primary companies that we'll be speaking today. So you have any questions with regards to what they talk about or anything that connects with their product or the kind of things that they do as companies, please feel free to click on the link to Slido at any point in time and share with us your thoughts. We will take off actually by taking some polls. This is to set the tone and get us really going. Before I go too far into it, let me do a bit of introduction and share who is this person that you're listening to. So this is John. I'm John Awudeyi. I work in the business development team at Bunce. I have experience working in business development, supporting startups across product development, business, team setup, and things of that sort. I have a background in computer science. And hey, always happy to see a customer that's happy. And that's what we are about at Bunce. And we have some members of our team also join on the call. Of course, Bunce is a company that is focused on helping businesses do better. How? By increasing the value that businesses are able to get or harness from their customers. And a couple of the things that we will share today will also point to the things that we do as a business. And of course, much into today's session as well, we will be listening to Folu Tubanjo talk to us about some exciting things that Paystack does as a company. Now, let's get into our poll. I will like to have us take this poll together. Yeah, the poll is coming up on your screen. I believe the poll is visible at your end. Kindly just respond to the poll as a business person and let us know. The first question talks about if you know how many customers did or did not buy from you in the last 3 months. Let us know what you think to that. Do you keep a record of your customer payments? That's the second question there, right? Let us know. Number of the things that will be shared today will help you see just what's better than what you may be doing already or what you're doing already that is great in itself. Next question is, how often do you reach out? So that could entail sending messages or putting out calls to customers. What is the frequency of engagement that your business uses or follows in relating to customers? And of course, the fourth question is, what channels do you use in communicating with your customers, right? Of the ones that are listed, just pick the one that apply. And the fifth question is, how often do your customer payments fail? Because customer interaction is not complete if there's a transaction and payment is not received. Do you have a familiarity with how often you experience a failure in that regard? We will take about 30 seconds more to get all of the feedback into that poll, and we will be getting very close to the first presentation for today. Now, like I said, please look at the chat box to land on the Slido link. Once you find the Slido link, you can click on it to let us know what questions you may have, or even find questions that have already been asked that align with your thoughts and interests, and vote them up so that should there be limited time to consider questions, we will be able to consider those that are most important to you. Just 10 more seconds and we will be done with the poll now. Okay. There we go. Having completed the poll, this is me again saying welcome to the Bunce webinar, where we will be discussing how to get and retain more customers. I'm tempted to unleash, but I'll hold myself and let the people who have been prepared to do the serving and the dishing of the meal today take the floor and just give us a smooth ride. First, of course, is the Bunce conversation that will be led by Paul Ayuk. Bringing up Paul Ayuk now. Paul Ayuk is the Chief Executive Officer at Bunce, and he has a background, of course, in engineering, and he still works today as a full stack developer. Bunce will be sharing with us on how to get and retain customers. Let's welcome Paul.
Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Hope you're all doing well. Very excited to be speaking with you all today. And today we're going to be sharing something really important. We're going to be talking about how to get and retain customers, because, as you know, without customers, you don't have a business. So thank you very much for joining in today. So I'll just kick off. Today we're talking about something very important for your business, which is how to get and retain more customers, right? Without customers for your business, without customers, you don't have a business, basically, right? Until people purchase or patronize your product or service, you don't have a business. So first of all, let's break down the terms I guess you can hear in many places. First is customer acquisition. Customer acquisition really is just getting customers. That's all it is. So every time you try to get people to purchase your product or your service, what you're actually doing is customer acquisition. So that's the first step to creating a sustainable business, is to acquire customers. So customer acquisition is getting customers. The next term is customer retention. What exactly is customer retention? Customer retention really just means keeping your customers. So first step is that you get the customer, and then you get to retain them, which is keeping them. So as a business, you first get customers, and then you think about retaining them. But something I want to point you to is never think about, as a business, never think about customer acquisition versus customer retention. Rather, think of it as customer acquisition and customer retention, because imagine a bucket where a leaking bucket, that water just goes in. It keeps running out. But if you have the ability to retain that water, then you wouldn't run out. And that's really important, because getting new customers as a business without the ability to retain them is one of the top reasons for business failure, right? So in order for you to have a sustainable business, you need to retain. You don't just need to get customers, but you also need to retain them. But before we can even say how can we retain these customers, there's some things that need to be in place. And I'll just talk about one of those key factors now is having a great product and a great service. Because think about it. If you purchase a product or you subscribe for a service and it doesn't deliver value to you, the product isn't great for you, you're not going to get it again, right? And it's just the same thing as everyone out there. If you don't have a great product or you don't have a great service, it's going to be hard to get customers to repeatedly pay for your service or your product. And one of such examples is Paystack. Paystack provides means for businesses to receive and send out money to to their customers. And if you ask 3 or 4 or 5 people, they'll tell you Paystack is a really great service, and that's because they've built this great service and this great product over time. Another key factor in retaining customers is having a good customer service. I mean, if you have customers just buy from you or subscribe for your service, and there's no way to reach out to you after the purchase or payment is made, there's no way to communicate, there's no way to for them to understand how to gain the value from your product, then they're not going to have a very good experience. And overall, if people don't have a good experience the first time they use your service or your product, it's very hard to get them to come back. So one of the most important things as a business for you to have repeat customers is having a good customer service. The final thing on this point I'll be saying is having good customer engagement. I know today, everyone on this call has received one email or one SMS or the other from a business they have either communicated with in the past. And those emails are really trying to keep you in the loop to what's happening with the business, or trying to update you on a new product, a new service line, or something related to the business. And one of the things we found is that those messages that you get, those emails, if they are not personalized to each customer, it's going to be really hard to have great engagement. So as a business, you need to communicate with your customers, and not just communicating with them. You need to communicate with them in a personalized manner. You need to cater for their needs specifically, because customers are unique. And that's one of the key things as a business, because if you don't communicate with your customers, if you don't stay on top of your customer's mind, it's going to be really hard for them to come back to you. And I'll be showing you much about how Bunce can help you in this regard later on as we progress. So now I'll talk about how customer and payment data can help you as a business retain data. I mean, as a business, you receive some sort of payments from your customers, either through payment processors like Paystack, or you receive payments offline. But whatever way is that you receive payments from a person, and that person is your customer. So you have the customer data and the payment data. And proper utilization of this data can help improve your business. Because let's face it, you can't improve what you don't measure, right? If you don't know how many customers you have today, it's then difficult to project how many customers you're going to have next week or next month or anytime. So in order for you to grow your customer base, you need to keep track of how many customers you have and how much they're being retained. So as a business to grow, you need to look for every opportunity to engage with your customers. You need to track the data, and the data isn't just about your customer or your payment data. You also need to track your communication data. So how many times are you communicating with your users every single month or every week, right? Are they opening the messages? Are they interacting with the messages? Is it resonating with them? Those are the things you need to track, because the more these things are, the more positive these things are, the more they are received with positiveness from your users, the better they are for your business. So in this regard of customer acquisition and customer retention, there are some metrics to always keep in mind, right? To ensure that your business is on a positive scale when it comes to acquiring and retaining customers. One of them is customer count. So at every point in time, as a business, you need to know how many customers you have. How many customers did you have today? How many customers did you have this week? How many customers did you have this month, this year, and so forth? Tracking this value would enable you make progress every single day, every single week, and so on and so forth. It's one of the most important metrics as a business to track. Another one is customer retention rate, right? Let's face it, you've gotten a lot of customers, you've acquired customers. Now you need to know how many of those customers buy from you the second time, how many get your product the second time, how many pay for your product the second time, right? So if you acquired 100 customers in a certain month, how many come back next month or the next time they need the product to purchase, right? And that gives you your retention rate. And the churn rate is the amount of customers that didn't come back to purchase your product, right? That information is really valuable to track, because if you're tracking why customers no longer buy from you or why customers no longer use your product, then you're going to be able to understand the changes you need to make or the improvements you need on your product in order to stop losing the customers. Right? So those are like three very important metrics for you to track. Other metrics like customer lifetime value, customer acquisition cost, and close rate are also very important, as they'll help you understand how you can maximize the value you get from each customer. One of the most important things that I'll talk about finally is about segmenting your customers. So as we said before, it's one thing to message your customers, and it's another thing to personalize the messages that they receive, right? In order for these messages to be effective, in order for your business to be effective in terms of engaging your customers, you need to segment your customers, and customers can be segmented based on different things, based on their payment behavior, their actions, what currencies do they pay in, what channels do they like to pay, what time of the month do they pay more, what sort of products or services do they typically order, and those kind of information. So tracking those information would really help you tailor how you upsell or cross-sell to your audience. And trust me, it's doing this, once this is tested for your business, you realize that before you did that, you were leaving a lot of money on the table. But the simple ability to put your customers in different categories based on their uniqueness and personalizing the communication to them would really, really scale and help your business grow and retain customers. That's all for my talk now. I want to show you just right now how Bunce can help your business retain customers and how you can personalize communication with all your customers now. So thank you very much for listening. I'll just have this short video go on now.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Bunce demo. Bunce is a payment data management platform that helps you manage all your payment operations. Today, I'll be walking you through the different features that we offer. This account is for Damilola Enterprises, an e-commerce merchant that sells children's clothes and shoes. Once they've signed up, the first thing they will need to do is complete some onboarding steps, which include adding their payment provider, which could range from multiple payment providers already on the system, adding an email provider, which could be any external email provider like Mailgun, SendGrid, and so on and so forth, or could even be Bunce, as we also send emails for businesses. And then also adding their SMS provider, which could also be external payment SMS providers or even Bunce as well. Once this is done, we provide businesses like Damilola Enterprises with three key features. Number one, we allow Damilola Enterprises to see how much revenue she is making on a day-to-day or month-to-month or even yearly basis, with real-time updated payment metrics that range from metrics like total revenue, customer retention rates, customer lifetime value, and so on and so forth. The second feature we provide is what we title segmentation. This is a very powerful feature because it allows businesses like Damilola Enterprises to get an accurate list of customers based on their payment behavior. So take, for example, Damilola Enterprises may want to know all her customers who have bought only once. To achieve this, she would click on the category here, select purchase frequency, and set it to 1. What the Bunce system would automatically do, based on the payment data access we have, we would show the business an accurate list of all their customers that have only purchased once. Isn't that awesome? The third feature that we provide, which is closely integrated into our segmentation feature, is that we allow businesses to then take real-time action based on any segment they create. So using Damilola Enterprises as an example, Damilola Enterprises may want to send personalized messages to all her customers that have only bought once. She would most likely want to tell them, I miss you, and I would like to see you back again. So what I'm going to do now is type out a personalized message. Thank you for shopping at Damilola Enterprises. We miss you and we would love to see you again. This can be edited to suit your brand's tone or voice. It's not compulsory that you give discounts, but also discounts can be added here to spur customers to come back. The same process can also be applied to other engagement channels like SMS, WhatsApp, Telegram messages, and so on and so forth, which we have in the system. Now, once these messages are personalized, the third feature we offer is what we call our automation flow. Here, Damilola Enterprises can specify the different ways she wants to engage with all her customers who have bought once. I think I forgot to say that if tomorrow a customer buys the second time, they would automatically leave this segment. And if tomorrow there is a new customer that buys with Damilola Enterprises for the first time, they will be added to the segment. So Damilola Enterprises could specify that after a user buys once, they want to wait for 1 month. And after 1 month, they expect the customer to have come back to make a repeat purchase. So after 1 month, if the customer hasn't bought from them again, which means they would most likely still be in this segment, she could specify that an email be sent out to these customers, which is the email that she edited in the previous step. Now, the interesting thing is the Bunce system can track if this email was opened or if it was not opened, or if it was clicked, perhaps an action was taken to purchase, and so on and so forth. We could also track if a transaction happened by reason of this email going out. With our if-else condition, we could specify and say if it's positive or negative, so if the email was opened or not, or if a transaction was made or not, we could either decide to end the automation flow, or if it's negative, escalate to even another engagement channel. And this loop can go on and on and on. The loop can be repeated until the customer comes back and makes a repeat purchase. Here at Bunce, our goal is to provide businesses with tools that enable them to increase their revenue, reduce customer churn, and increase customer lifetime value. Thank you very much.
There you go, friends. Thank you for joining us once again and for coming this far to understand how to gain and retain more customers. Thank you very much, Paul, there for that understanding shared. I think it's important to reflect a bit on what we just learned. And it's easy before now to think about the fact that doing so much to get customers and to retain them belongs to big businesses. One of the narratives that Bunce is critically trying to re-educate the business community in Nigeria about is the fact that you don't have to think that the hard work of making sure that customers stay with you belongs only to businesses that are large and doing millions. Whatever the stage of the business that you're in, you need to begin to prioritize the fact that your customers should stick with you. Now, the experience that your customers get is critical to their choice of sticking with you. People stay where they are loved, natural emotional statement, but it applies across board. So if you're running a business, what are you putting in place to make sure that the person who transacts with you today comes back tomorrow? We all go where we accept it, right? We all use barbing salons, right? Our ladies make hairs. There's a reason you keep going back to the same place again and again. If you get a warmth and a sense of care from the people there, then there's a high chance that you will go back there. Nobody wants to be treated in a way that is foul. Everybody wants to get good sense of welcome, right? And I can tell in my personal experience, interacting with businesses, whether the small ones just selling groceries around the streets or the bigger ones, there is that natural desire for an attention and appreciation of my person. I'm not asking for you to give me a bottle of wine just because I came to buy a few bucks of stuff, right? But there is a manner of communication, and Bunce sits at that point of making sure that you not only are able to ensure that your customers hear from you without you having to be distracted from your core business, you are able to do it in a way that is automated, such that you don't have to be looking at it every day and night. You can simply use the segmentation feature to bucket list your customers. You can tell those who's been transacting with you in the last 1 month. You can tell those who were with you a year ago and did not show up for 1 year after. And then you can strategically put a communication that makes them feel, oh, they were missed. Who doesn't like to be missed? So these are the interesting things that Bunce is demystifying for small businesses, taking CRM away from what it used to be, the big boy stuff, to something everyday business can leverage. Now that said, we're still looking out for the Slido link, and please, the link is there, bit.ly/get and retain. If you click on it, you'll land on the Slido page. Please feel free to drop questions you might have from the presentation we just had, all right, from Paul. Well, we're moving right on to something else. Next, we're going to be having our Paystack friends share with us on leveraging digital payment. And of course, to do the honors from Paystack is Folu. Folu Atubanjo will be leading the session and sharing with us on how to leverage digital payment. Of course, Folu has a background in business financial management from the University of Warwick. She has 4 years experience in the fintech industry, has experience working in Hong Kong, and of course leads a team of key account managers in Paystack. It's my delight to bring to this virtual lectern for you as we learn from her what we can do better when it comes to leveraging digital payment. Over to you, Fulu.
Thank you so much, John. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Folu Otubanjo. I lead the key accounts team at Paystack, and my team is generally responsible for our largest businesses that use us in our different markets across Africa. So we bring in the revenue for the company. So yes, I guess today I would be talking more about like the payment side of things, right? How can you get and retain more customers using Paystack tools online and offline, right? But before I get started, a little bit about Paystack, right? So Paystack is a technology company. We provide payment solutions for businesses across Africa. Right now, we are primarily based in Nigeria, but we've expanded to other African markets, Ghana, South Africa, and most recently, Kenya. And we were acquired by Stripe 2 years ago. So we're part of the Stripe family, and we've been able to reach even more customers with our partnership with Stripe. We consider ourselves to be the leading payments provider in Nigeria. We process just over 50% of all online payments in Nigeria. And we're currently making we're currently developing some products in the offline sector as well, right? And why do businesses use Paystack? Our main mission is we want to help and provide products that specifically, one, grows the businesses online for businesses, right? And also solves problems, right? There are lots of businesses today that would not exist without Paystack, that would not exist without the products that we currently offer, right? And we've had success stories of businesses growing their business online, right? If a business joins Paystack today, they are guaranteed to grow just because we offer a variety of services, right? Which brings me to what are these products, right? What are these amazing tools that we currently offer, right? So like I mentioned before, We offer products online, right? Which means like enabling, as a business, enabling your customers to pay you online. So that can be a website, that can be a mobile app, or any other online platform that requires an internet connection. And we also provide products that allow for in-person payment. So that is collecting payments from customers in person, either as a physical store, at your local, maybe you have a local shop, right? Like you're collecting money physically and from customers, right? So I'll talk about the online base first. That's like the products that we offer on the online segments, right? And specifically how you can use these tools to grow your customers online, right? So the first thing is, as a business, you want to provide multiple payment options for your customers, right? You want to give customers different methods to pay, right? We all know that in Nigeria, the primary mode of payment is transfers, right? It's the quickest, it's the easiest. You can easily open your bank app and you can make a transfer to a business, right? And you can collect transfers from your customers as well, right? And today on Paystack, we have multiple payment options because we want to, again, enable businesses to, collect payments from their customers, no matter what payments channel the customer is offering, right? So today we have our checkouts, which is primarily our major products, right? And it's one of the ways that businesses integrate Paystack today. And on our checkouts, we have Pay with Card. So in Nigeria, we have MasterCard, Visa, and Verve. We have bank transfer. We have Pay by bank accounts. We have Pay by USSD, Pay by QR, and very recently, we just launched Apple Pay that allows businesses to collect international payments from customers abroad, not just Nigeria, right? And most recently, we were thinking about, okay, how can we make like the payments process faster for customers, right? Essentially, how can we make it easier for you as a business owner to receive payments from your customers in like 2 seconds, five seconds, right? And we came up with saved cards, right? So on our checkouts today, your customers can actually save their card information on their checkouts so that each time they come to your website or even your mobile app, they don't have to enter their card details all over again, right? They just simply click on whatever card they've saved and from the previous time they make payments to you, and you can easily collect payments that way, right? And we also support multiple currencies, right? Again, even though we're primarily based in Africa, we want to enable and allow businesses collect payments from customers in the world, right? So today, not only do we offer payments services in different African markets, but you can also collect USD from your customer as well. We can settle you in USD if you have a domiciliary account. Again, just like creating more channels for you to reach more customers, not just locally, but internationally as well. The second tool or feature that we offer is recurring payments and subscriptions, right? And we really built this feature because we have businesses who not only collect one-time payments from their customers, right? So assuming you're a lending business or you have a subscription-based business where you need customers to pay you on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, right? But you don't want these customers to keep on, each time they make a payment, they have to enter their card details every single time, right? So we have technologies, APIs, that will allow your business to collect payments from your customers on a recurring basis without the customer having to input their card details every single time, right? Again, that not only improves like collections for you as a business, but it also like increases and makes the payments process much more efficient for the customers as well, right? And today we support a lot of lending businesses, lots of businesses that collect payments on a recurring basis, not just in Nigeria, but in the other African markets that we currently exist in. Attached to our recurring payments, we also have a very, very advanced fraud protection system. So we've built in fraud checks and fraud products into our technology to make sure that your customers can feel secure whenever they're paying you online, right? Just again, you want to build trust. You want to make sure that customers are very comfortable paying you online, and Paystack has done the work of building out like a robust fraud protection system. And last but not the least, we have API documentation. I won't go into this in the technical form because this is very technical, and I'm not sure if we have a lot of technical people on the call. But essentially, how businesses today use Paystack is we have APIs, which are essentially just a way for you to plug in Paystack into your website or your mobile app. so that you can have a list, you can make use of all the different products that I talked about in the last slide or in the previous slide. And in addition to payments, again, linking it back to solving problems for businesses, making sure that they're growing online, making sure they are scaling. We've partnered with a lot of plugins, right? And Bunce is one of them, right? Today on Paystack, we have over 40 plugins, platforms, and integrations that businesses can use to grow, monitor, and scale their business online, right? Bunce is, of course, a partner that we've recently integrated into, and it allows businesses just able to to monitor certain metrics and insights, get payment insights into their business, prevent churn, make sure that any customer that drops off at the payment process, they can easily see that data, and they can easily see that insights, right? We have other plugins that allow you to build a website from scratch, right? So if you're a business and you don't really have developers, or you're not really technical, right? We have Wix. So Wix is a site builder that would just allow you to design and manage and create a website without little or no code, right? So if you feel like you want to have a website tomorrow, right, you can easily integrate into Paystack and then have Wix as a plugin, right? And then we have Ship Bubble if you're maybe delivery company or maybe an Instagram vendor, right? And you want to outsource the shipping part of your business. We have plugins available for that, right? So with Paystack, you not just only get the payment side, but you get this very significant and important add-ons when you use a different products, right? And then the next thing you want to do as a business owner is you want to make sure that you're tracking different insights, right? I saw on the poll that about 80% of the attendees currently monitor their payment data, which is amazing, right? For the remaining 20%, it's absolutely important that you track and monitor how your business is performing, especially when it relates to payments, because payments is one of the avenues that you can easily lose a customer, or you can easily prevent them from coming back to your business to purchase from you again, right? So with Paystack, you will get a Paystack dashboard that will give you a high-level view into how your business is performing, right? And on our dashboard, you can see revenue insights, so you can see how much you're making on a daily basis, on a monthly basis. You can export reports, right? If you want to do a 1-year analysis of how your business has been doing, you can get that information from our dashboard. You can also get customer insights. So for example, if you want to know where customers are paying you from, if you want to know information about their email address, maybe you want to reach them, you can get that insight from our dashboard as well. More specifically and more importantly, you can also track success rates, right? So you want to make sure that as a business, your success rate when it comes to payments is really, really high, right? You want to make sure that you're not losing customers because they can't pay or because they abandon the payments process, right? So if you see that your success rate is low, right, you can easily work with Paystack, how we can help you to reach higher success rates, right? You can also see payment errors, right? So I saw about, I think 20% of people said that they often have issues with payments, right? Again, you will not know this unless you track the data, right? So you can easily see what errors are happening whenever customers are paying you, and you can easily reach out to Paystack and just say, hey, this is what we're seeing with our customers. How can we easily fix this, right? And then last but not the least, you can see insights into abandoned transactions. Abandoned transactions is one of the highest ways where you can lose customers, right? Because customers can drop off in the payments process for any reason, right? So you want to make sure that you're tracking your abandoned transactions and making sure that they are not high, right? And if it's high, then you need to do something about it, right? And that is where you can reach out to Paystack to just figure out how we can help there. And last but not the least, when it comes to online payments, specifically in Nigeria, we all know that not all customers are comfortable paying online, right? Not all customers are comfortable putting their card information on their websites, right? Which is why it is very, very important that you partner with a payments provider that is secure, right, and is highly compliant, right? With Paystack, we're PCI DSS certified, which is basically the highest form of compliance you can get within the payments industry, right? On our checkout, we have the badge secured by Paystack, again, giving customers that comfort to ensure that like their card details are safe and they're not going to be a victim of fraud, right? So I will play like a 2-3 minutes video. We've partnered with a lot of businesses, right? But specifically Tag Fashion, they are based in Ghana, and we've been able to scale their business online. We've been able to allow them to reach more customers, right? So that you don't just take my word for it. You also hear from, I guess, like one of the businesses that we use and that uses us in Ghana. Right?
I've always loved to
just 1 minute. Let
design,
me share my sound.
Actually wanted to be a clothing designer, but in exploring that, I came to learn and realized that I actually loved footwear design, and it was a space that hasn't been explored too well in Ghana. So I explored that space and realized I've always loved to design, and I actually wanted to be a clothing designer. But in exploring that, I came to learn and realized that I actually loved footwear design, and it was a space that hasn't been explored too well in Ghana. So I explored that space and realized there was an opportunity there to make footwear that's accessible to girls all over Ghana and even Africa, and also to make something that's owned by an African, just so it feels like a part of our story.
You better line to sit the dance floor. Don't work too hard, my break the back though. Return to the back, the king is back though. Corvette and cash, I never lack those. She saw the stone, you know how that go. Fatality, my diamonds that cold. Versace trunks, I hit my backstroke. Knock on the door.
My name is Nanaja Jenfi, and I am the founder and creative director of Tag. Tag is a female footwear brand based in Ghana. We are run by an all-female team, and we design shoes here for girls all over the world. When we started out our business, we were taking orders over WhatsApp and Instagram DM. And at a point, it became so difficult to handle all these messages at once, because on certain days, especially during peak seasons, we handle about 100 to 200 messages in a day. And there's only so many people you can chat with at a time. So based on this, we realized we needed to automate things. And in automating things, the best solution for us was having a website. Once we started looking into a website, we realized we needed a payments processor. I remember after chancing on Paystack through someone's website and reaching out to them, just the nature of their responsiveness made me feel like this is a company we want to work with, because we needed our business to be as effective and efficient as possible. And we saw that in Paystack. So we knew that by associating with them, we were going to get the kind of solutions we are looking for. Currently, we use Paystack's website checkout feature the most, because we use their plugin to process our payments on our website. Anytime a customer buys something on our website and making payments, they simply select Paystack and they are redirected to Paystack's platform to put in their card details or mobile money details and pay through Paystack. When it comes to refunds, for us, instead of going through a lengthy process, we simply click a button on our app on the back end, and Paystack handles the refunds from there. So prior to integrating Paystack into our website, we had actually started using the website, but we used to go about things manually. And that's when a customer is making an order, they finish checking out on our website and then now have to make payments manually through mobile money. So having Paystack on board has automated all of that for us. It saved us the time of having to confirm each customer's mobile money payments have actually come to, and made our operations much more efficient. And just being able to reach out to them whenever any customer even has any payments issue, and seeing how well the response was made us so confident in them and made us sure that we wanted to partner with them for life. For Tag, in the future, we just hope to keep doing what we are doing and on an even bigger scale, just so we can empower all other girls out there. Our main goal is to make every girl, especially every Ghanaian and African girl, feel like whatever dream she has is possible. When she looks at Tag, she should know that her biggest and wildest dreams are valid and will come to life.
Yeah, so that is Taj Africa, right? And the main way we're able to help them was we helped them automate a lot of their processes, right? And of course they use our checkouts and integrated that, and they use our refunds product as well, right? Again, so that everything is seamless, everything is automated, and they don't have to worry so much about like the manual processes side of things, right? So last but not least, when it comes to offline payments and retaining customers, we also provide terminals, right? So the Paystack terminal is essentially a POS device that allows your customers to pay you in person, right? And I think the major selling point with our terminals is we have multiple payment channels available, right? So a lot of the terminals today in the market only have cards, but with our terminals, you get other channels like USSD and bank transfers, right? And we want to again ensure that customers are paying you really, really quickly, right? So transactions on our terminal are fast, and as a business, you can also do end of day reconciliation, right? So our terminal is one of the ways, again, you can retain and get more customers offline, right? So that brings me to the end of my presentation. I'm happy to take any questions or anything. Yeah, any questions? Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you very kindly, Fulu, for that smooth presentation there, sharing with us how to leverage Paystack. Like Fulu said, please share questions again. The link is on the chat where you can let us know what questions you have for Fulu. I know she's super ready to respond to them. Do you use Paystack? Are you receiving payment digitally, or you rely just on transfers? Right, leveraging digital payment means that you can have a lot automated back end, right? If people can be able to use digital channels to pay you, a lot more data can be captured that you can work with to understanding where your customers are coming from and being able to serve them at the point of their need before even their own awareness of what exactly is that they need. We'll be doing something shortly, which is responding to some questions already asked, particularly towards the first presentation that was delivered by Paul, talking about how to get and retain more customers. In fact, some of those questions were again about the Bunce product and company. And I'm going to be bringing up Paul again now to share with us his responses to some of those questions to the extent that we're able to take. Welcome on, Paul.
I thank you so much. I'll just take the questions as I see them here. So the first question is about how do you go about contacting companies that don't have good contact details? So I don't understand the question. I would assume you mean if you don't have all the contact details of your customers. So at the moment, we can only work with the correctness of the data you provide. So you need to businesses need to have an airtight data collection process, because if you have customers that have invalid emails or invalid phone numbers, you're not going to be able to contact them, and it's not going to be possible for them to come back to your business because you've lost that means of communication with them. But currently, even if you do not use the payment processor, you can still upload your customer data through spreadsheets or through, we also have APIs that you could connect, you could upload your data directly to. So even if you don't use the payment processor, you could connect your customer data through a spreadsheet or through APIs. The next question is, I receive payments from customers via bank transfer, not through a payment processor. How can I still benefit from Bunce, right? As a business, it's one of the key things is like established earlier is communication with your customer. So whenever you're collecting payments from your customers, you can either do that through a payment processor or bank transfer. Now, regardless of the method you're using, it's still beneficial to get your customers' contact details so that you can always contact them again. So as you all know, one of the features on Paystack is the bank transfer feature. So what we're doing on top of that is that we're building a unique account generation feature where instead of you sending a regular bank account number to a customer, you just generate a bank account from your Paystack integration and send to your customer, and automatically would be able to, once the customer pays, we're going to be able to track the customer details from the bank transfer you generated from Paystack. So that still works. The next question is, which countries are you live in? So currently, as we're integrated with Paystack, what that means is that businesses in Nigeria, Ghana, and South Africa can currently use Bunce. So if you're in Ghana or South Africa or Nigeria, you can sign up on the platform and use the platform fully. Also, the last question is, what does it take to register with Bunce? How much does it cost? And what are the requirements? So we have a free plan, and we also have plans ranging from $10, $30, and $100 monthly. What you need to do, all you need to do is just to sign up on the website, and you've seen the website in the chat box. So sign up on the website and connect your payment processor. In this case, if you have a Paystack account, you can connect your Paystack account, or you upload a spreadsheet with your customer data. Thank you very much. Those are all the questions I have here. If there's any other one, can someone point to it?
Okay, thank you very much. I hope that's sufficient clarity for those of us who asked the question. I think that we do have some questions though for Fulu, and we're going to attempt to take some of those right now. First, I think I'm going to ask is, Fulu, there's this question that says, how can I get the Paystack POS for my business? Okay. How can I get a Paystack POS for my business?
Yeah, I'm very excited that you're interested in our POS. I think you can, maybe John, maybe you can give, I can probably share my email address, but you can get in touch with me, and I will put you in touch with our terminal team, so that we can get a POS across to you and your business. So John, I don't know what the best way is. Maybe I can put my email in the chats, or you can also maybe just communicate that to the attendees.
Yes, I think it's totally fine if you would drop your email in the chat so that this interested person can do that. In any case, if for any reason you lose the email and you feel like you need an easy access to Paystack, I'm sure that the response time in Paystack is fantastic, but we're also happy to connect you with our friends in Paystack if you need any help in that regard. I think that's all of the questions that we have right now for coming from the audience. Well, it looks like both of our presenters today are just exceptional, great people who have been presenting for only God knows when. Everything just been going so smoothly like holy water. Don't quote me, but just expressing my delight. It's been really great just listening to first, how do you get and retain more customers, and of course then leveraging digital payment. A number of these things that we have heard may look like, okay, information of existing things. How do I plug into this becomes the next question for any serious-minded person who doesn't just want to keep doing the routine in business. So please feel free to reach out to us at Bunce and to reach out to the Paystack team. Both teams are totally eager to answer questions that you might have beyond here. But if there's anything that we can always tell you is the fact that the word has gone past offline, and a lot is happening online. And we're not saying to stop the offline operations, very critical. We like the human connections. And in fact, that human connection is a major reason why Bunce exists, to ensure that even though you're having operations online, that relationship, that communication that feels like you're dealing with a human being that is empathic, right, is always retained. All right, that said, let me announce, just in case we have folks on the call who are not yet aware, there is a business grant that is provided by Bunce, all right, that is currently being applied for. So please do well to check out the Bunce grant. It's easy to access, all right? We'll drop the link again on the chat so that you can go on there, put in a few information, very easy grant to apply for actually, and complete the steps, and you will be hearing some good news hopefully before September is over. Now we're very much close to the end of the conversation. I want to encourage you to sign up on Bunce if you have not. It will be a world of good if you do, for you and of course for us. If you're not also using Paystack already, what are you waiting for? I must begin now to extend my gratitude and thanks to everyone who's made today's conversation successful. I'm not sure that we have any other questions, but if we do, I'm sure my tech team behind the doors would let me know. But if for any reason you're asking and nobody's paying attention, you can just please put a wave or indicate on the chat box. That said, let me say thank you. Follow us on social media. Find out where we are. The links are on the chat box. A big thank you to the entire Paystack team for making this conversation a success. To Folu, to Toba, and everyone that did not necessarily show up on the call, but made sure that all of this worked out. We're closing the doors now. Maybe we'll be switching to a bit of music as we tell everyone have a wonderful rest of the evening. It's Friday, so I guess TGIF is in order. Just be safe as you have fun. Thank you very much. Ciao.
Thank you, everyone.